the Assistant Secretary to the Board of Directors of the Asian Development Bank. So thank you very much, and let's give AJ a nice welcome.
Thanks, Jonathan. Good morning. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be here. Firstly, friends from Microsoft, my colleagues, and the youngsters. It's always pleasing to be in the company of youngsters. Just a few words. I'm sure you all know Asian Development Bank. It's a multilateral institution engaged in poverty reduction activities through economic development. We hold our annual meeting each year, wherein our highest governing body, Board of Governors, they engage in a dialogue. Last year, Philippines had the chance to host our annual meeting. It was hosted in the first week of May in Manila, and I'm sure you must be aware of that. There's a lot of coverage on the media, on television, and on newspapers, and even webcast some of the activities. Just moving backwards to explain what ADB does and what this annual meeting is. ADB has 67 members, 44 regional, and minus non-regional. Out of that, there are some borrowing members, there are some non-borrowing members. Borrowing members are interested to gain ADB's expertise either through a policy dialogue or through financial assistance in two sectors, financial sector and infrastructure sector. Infrastructure sector could be physical infrastructure or social infrastructure, and financial sector is banking, capital markets, stock exchanges, those kind of institutions. Basically infrastructure. But whatever we do touches the common man. You saw a presentation from John. Everything that he showed was touching the common man. Inclusive growth. How can we develop growing Asia, developing Asia by touching the common man? That's the idea. And that is what is discussed at our annual meeting. We have series of seminars, we have series of presentations. I'll leave two brochures here that describe what we do at our annual meeting. One is the highlights that were covered in Manila annual meeting. The second, why countries host our annual meeting. I'll leave these brochures here. You can go through it subsequently. But who attends our annual meeting? Because annual meeting is an annual meeting, but most participants would want to know who attends. It's attended by economic and finance ministers from our 67 members, regulators, infrastructure regulators, financial sector regulators, central bank governors, policy makers, media, NGO, civil society, private sector, banking community, investment bankers, commercial bankers, and the list is enormous. The participation is over 5,000. In case of India, we expect the participation could be 6,000 or 7,000 participants. But they're all very senior functionaries. And they all discuss and debate how to help the common man. Say, for instance, regulators, the physical infrastructure that we cover, telecom, power, water, sanitary, oil and gas, energy. All those regulators will debate, discuss what is it that we can do that will help the common man. And in that regard, your participation in coming out with creative ideas will be very helpful. What is it that you can help to help a common man to generate economic activity, to facilitate economic activity? I'll give you a few examples. Like in one case, the country-specific situations are different in different economies that we serve. Philippines has a special situation. It's mainly led by IT industry as of now. There are Pacific Island economies. Those are small economies, small island countries, they may have a different situation. There are some middle income countries in South Asia that may be agriculture dominated. There may be some countries that are manufacturing or industry dominated. But still, they all touch the common man. And this is what our stakeholders, the participants at our annual meeting, would want to know. So whatever you can do to help them, say a telecom regulator or a power sector regulator, who in turn will go and see how should the common man know what is the energy sector related activities that a common man wants to know, or what is the agriculture sector activities that a common man wants to know. One example is a farmer in a remote place would want to know when will the fertilizer arrive, when in a district town that he or she lives in, where is the next hospital for his or her animal located if there is a disease. So those are the kind of things he or she would want to know through an app or through a mobile technology. Distant farmer, how to communicate. So we would very much welcome whatever ideas you have, bring it out, and we appreciate the initiative that has been taken by Microsoft, and I wish you all a great success in this. My colleagues will be here. Any questions subsequently you can ask them. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. So now you see what this is all about, right? You have a good idea, and it's good that AJ gives some examples of what's really happening there. Imagine that they need to find out where's the nearest animal hospital. But that's, if you think about it, it's like a small thing, but for us, but for certain countries, it's life or it could be life or death for them. So if you could help out with something like that, I'm just honestly just talking about it, just giving you this contest. If you can help the guys, then all the more to us. All right, so. Thanks again, AJ. Our next speaker is more about, you've heard about the beautiful things, the wonderful things that ADB is doing from AJ, but to expound more on what ADB does, I'm going to call on Ms. Rita Festin to speak about ADB operations in the Philippines. Rita?
PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so I'll give you an overview of the ADB in addition to what Mr. Sagar has covered. Okay. So ADB is a multilateral development bank founded in 1966. So we've been here 45 years, no? Japan and the US are ADB's two largest shareholders. We have 67 member countries, 48 are in the region, in the Asia and Pacific region, and then 41 out of those 48 member countries are borrowing members, and the Philippines is one of them. We have about 3,000 regular staff, and out of that 3,000 staff, 2/3 are Filipinos, like me, national staff. Then we have the international staff, expats. Okay, and our staff come from the member countries of ADB. So poverty in Asia, as you can see, 54% live below $2 a day. That's the price of a Starbucks coffee. And out of that, 21% live below $1.25. In the world, Asia still holds 66% of the poor. Okay, as you can see. So what is ADB's vision? Our vision is an Asia and Pacific region free of poverty. Our mission is to help our developing member countries reduce poverty and improve living conditions and quality of life. So we're like World Bank also, but we're more focused on Asia and Pacific. So I forgot to explain the multilateral bank, so because we have many countries who are our member countries, so multilateral. That's where we got that. Offices. ADB's headquarters is in Manila. That building there beside Mega Mall, that's the ADB headquarters. Yeah.
Everybody will know that, right?
And then, but in the ADB headquarters, we have a Philippine country office, a small country office. That's where I belong. And then we have 27 resident missions all over Asia and Pacific, and 3 representative offices. Those in green, no? We have one in North America, Europe, and Japan. So core services of ADB to foster development impact. We provide low-interest loans through our Asian Development Fund. And there's also another fund, OCR, Ordinary Capital Resources, that has a higher interest. We also provide grants. No need to repay, okay? But these are hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then we also provide guarantees, equity investments, and PA, or capacity building, project feasibility studies. Knowledge sharing, like this. We have PAs for research and analytical work, policy dialogue and advisory, training and capacity building, especially for our executive agencies, and dissemination of best practices. Every now and then we hold workshops, conferences there in ADB headquarters. In 2011, we have provided 21.7 billion loans. Okay, what are our core sectors? Infrastructure, finance, education, environment, regional cooperation, and integration. Top borrowers are Vietnam, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and China. The Philippines is usually in the top. Philippines, we are an important ADB client. We are a founding member and 11th largest shareholder. So we're the 6th largest in net loans, 5th largest for private sector operations, and 7th largest in grants and technical assistance. So the Philippine government, what is the country context? We have a reform-minded government, Daang Matuwid. They took office on a no corruption, no poverty platform. And as we all can see, they initiated many significant reforms. But unfortunately, economic growth has been insufficient to address unemployment, underemployment, and poverty. But it's good that the numbers, the GDP numbers were out yesterday. We registered 6.6% for the year, and that's looking good. For every country that borrows money, borrows loans from ADB, we have a CPS, Country Partnership Strategy, and the Philippines has a CPS. What is the CPS? We merged the ADB's Strategy 2020 with the country's Philippine Development Plan. So Strategy 2020, we have more co-financing, more we should have economic sustainability. So, and then we, from the PDP of NEDA, that's usually issued by NEDA, we came up with these key support areas: investment climate and private sector development, social service delivery like CCT, conditional cash transfer, environment, climate change and disaster risk management, governance. So from 2011 to 2016, pretty much the Aquino administration